back to Winnie Makes. My name is Callie, and today I am so excited to share with you my pumpkin cupcake recipe. So this recipe is so delicious, it's simple, it's easy. The cupcakes themselves are so moist and fluffy, and they're perfect for the holiday season, fall, winter, you name it. You're absolutely gonna love this recipe, and I can't wait to share it with you. But before we begin, as always, please remember to subscribe, like, share, chat in the comment section, and follow me on social media for more recipes and additional content. So let's go over the ingredients. We have some brown sugar, granulated sugar, some orange zest. You could also use lemon zest. Here I have some flour, baking soda. I have a combination of spices. I'm going to be using some cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, ginger, 1 can of pure pumpkin puree, sour cream, some eggs, vegetable or canola oil. We have some buttermilk, vanilla, salt, and that is it for now. And we have a really, really delicious, beautiful spice cream cheese frosting that we're going to use later. That is just to die for, and you're gonna love it. So let's get started. First things first, we're gonna combine all of our dry ingredients and just give them a whisk to combine. So I'm adding my salt right now. So I'm just gonna stir this up. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna set that aside for a moment, and we're gonna work on our wet ingredients, which does include both types of sugar. I love using this orange zest in this recipe. It just kind of really subtly kind of brightens up all the flavors, which I think is nice. And orange is in season in the winter. So I'm gonna add the vegetable oil, and you know that adding the vegetable oil, the buttermilk, the sour cream, even the pure pumpkin puree is really gonna make these cupcakes so moist and so fluffy. Sorry if you don't like that word, but it's the truth. They are just going to be amazing. And before you even get to baking, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Get that nice and hot and ready to go. Next, I'm going to add my eggs. My eggs going in. Okay, this looks wonderful. So next what we're gonna do is add our pumpkin and our sour cream. That is going in. So if you are like me and absolutely love the holiday season, I live for the holiday season. I love Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything about it, New Year's. This is one of those recipes that I feel like really kind of gets me in the mood. I'm adding my vanilla as well. That really kind of gets me in the mood, and it's so perfect. Everyone loves it. So I'm gonna stir this again. Okay, that looks wonderful. Now I'm going to carefully add my dry ingredients. I like using a glass bowl because I feel like you can see what I'm doing a little bit easier, hopefully. But the only problem is it's not always big enough. So I'm gonna do my best not to make a huge mess. I'm also going in with my buttermilk, and I'm going to stir this to combine. Okay, so my batter is finished mixing. Remember, once the batter is nice and combined, stop mixing. You don't want to overmix. When you overmix, all you're gonna get is a really tough cupcake. So once it's nice and combined, stop mixing. And here what I have is a muffin tin that I have just sprayed with some nonstick cooking spray, lined with some muffin liners. It is ready to go. I've already started adding the batter into the muffin liners. You want to fill them about 3/4 of the way high, leaving some room for expansion because these are going to puff up in the oven. So about 3/4 of the way is about enough to fill them. And I'm just going to keep filling these. We're going to have to cook these in batches unless you have a couple of muffin tins. And these are gonna go into our 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. You'll know when they're done when a skewer or a knife inserted into the center comes out nice and clean, or with just a few crumbs. So I'm gonna keep filling these, and then we will proceed. Okay, so my cupcakes are finished baking, but they do need some time to cool down. They baked in the oven for 20 minutes exactly. So in the meantime, what we're gonna do is work on the frosting. So here I have some, you can't see it under all this powdered sugar, but I have powdered sugar, butter, cream cheese. I have a tiny bit of salt. I also have a combination of spices. I'm using the same spices that we put in the cupcakes, which is cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice. To this, I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla. And now I am just going to mix this with my electric whisk until it is nice and creamy. Okay, so this is nice and creamy and ready to go. My muffins or my cupcakes are about ready. So now I'm gonna set this aside for a moment and I'll show you how to pipe the cream cheese frosting onto these cupcakes. And remember, piping the cream cheese frosting onto the cupcakes is totally optional. You do not have to pipe the the frosting. You can just spread it on with a knife, whatever you want to do. But I'm gonna make these look sort of nice, nothing super fancy. But all you need to do if you don't have a piping bag is just use one large bag like this. This is a quart size. And I have a piping tip here that I'm just gonna stick into the corner of the bag and just cut the tip off with a pair of scissors. And if you don't have a piping tip like I do, you could still pipe the frosting onto the cupcakes. All you would do is just take the bag, snip off the corner, and then just do the same thing I'm about to do and just pipe the frosting onto the top the same way that I am going to. So that's also an option. So I'm just going to fold the bag over a large glass or a tall glass. And now, I don't have all my cupcakes here, I just brought a few to show you how to do this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the frosting, and keep in mind you are not gonna be able to fit all of this frosting into the bag. You're gonna have to do this in batches. So I'm just gonna put some of it in here carefully. Start with this, maybe I'll add a little bit more. But I'm gonna kind of push it down a little bit. And now I'm gonna take the bag out and I'm going to kind of push out some of the air from the top, because the more air that you have in the piping bag, the more the frosting isn't gonna come out evenly once you try to pipe it onto the cupcakes. So I like just first squeezing a tiny bit out. That looks good, it's coming out nicely. And I'm just squeezing the top of the bag. And with my other hand, I'm just gonna kind of gently push on the bag, and I'm gonna start at the edge of the cupcake and just make a circle, and then just continue the circle in closer to the center of the cupcake, and then you lift. And so there's multiple ways to do this, but this is just kind of the technique that I'm gonna be using. So I am just going to continue piping these cupcakes like so, and then I'm gonna give you a little close up of what these cupcakes look like. Okay, so I hope you were able to see just how fluffy and moist and soft these cupcakes are. I'm telling you, it does not get any softer than this. It's like biting into a cloud, and I'm truly not exaggerating. These are just so amazing. They really have those like holiday vibes that, you know, I'm here for. I hope you are too. And I mean, I hope you could just see. I'm gonna try to, maybe I'm just making a mess, but like, just look how soft this is. I mean, it just does not get any better than this. I know you're gonna love this recipe, and as always, for the full written recipe and instructions, head to my blog, minimix.com. I'll put the link for that in the description box below. Click on the link, the recipe will pop right up, and make these pumpkin pancakes, pumpkin cupcakes. I promise you won't regret it, and let me know what you think, because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, bye-bye. I'm frosting all over my hands. Thank you.